Hello again. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kira, and this is my September wrap up. This is my third time trying to record this video because my camera keeps dying on me, so I'm using my phone. I have it rigged onto my tripod so I can get my normal angle that I do to record my videos. So let's get into it. So first I'm going to start off with my normal stats that my stats that I started doing last month because I think they're interesting. So I read 6 books this month. Out of those books, I didn't reread any. I read one arc. I read a total of 1,971 pages, which averages to 66 pages per day, which averages 5 days per book. My average star rating was 3.4 stars, which is the same average star rating that I had last month. I thought that was kind of interesting. So let's just jump right into it. Hopefully my phone doesn't die on me. Apparently that's just a thing that happens to me now. But first book that I read this month was Keeper by Kim Chance. If you don't know what this book is about a girl named Lainey. She is just like your normal teenager, does her own thing. She is a bookworm. She's really good in school. She's trying to get into a good college and just make something of herself. And then everything gets derailed when she gets attacked by a 200-year-old witch. And then she finds out that she has powers and that she's a keeper of this book that holds all of the spells of past history of her family. And the one twist is that this evil person, the master, is the one that has the book. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. If you want to know more in-depth thoughts that I have on it, I will link my video up in the cards. I did a review on this book and the sequel, Keeper. I very much enjoyed the book, but that's all I'm going to really say since I did a review on the book. So that's Keeper. And the next book that I read this month was Seeker, which is the sequel to Keeper. Seeker follows the aftermath of what happens when they steal the book back from the master. And that book follows three points of view. The first book only follows Lainey's point of view. I gave that book 4 out of 5 stars as well. Again, go ahead and go watch my video, my book review video, if you want to know my more in-depth thoughts about these books. It's an hour long. I did a review on it in, so I got an arc of Seeker. Seeker is the arc that I read this month. I did a review on it, and my video came out the day that the book Seeker came out. I kind of timed it out that way on purpose. So I read the books in like a span of like a week. But yeah, 4 out of 5 stars for both the books. I very much enjoyed them. Moving on to a book that I've kind of talked about it if you watched my vlog. But the next book that I read this month was The Honeymooners by Christina Lauren. This book follows this girl named Olive who goes to her sister's wedding, and she's allergic to seafood, so she doesn't eat from the buffet, and neither does the groom's brother. And then everybody else in the wedding party gets food poisoning. Well, not food poisoning, it's some type of like bacteria, but everybody gets sick from this buffet except for Olive and the groom's brother. So Olive and her sister, they're identical twins, so her sister insists that Olive take her honeymoon that she won because it's non-refundable and they look alike. So Olive goes to go on this honeymoon, but then the groom also offers the honeymoon to his brother as well. So Olive and the groom's brother, what's his name? Ethan. Olive and Ethan go on this honeymoon together, but the kicker is that they don't like each other. So it's an enemies to lovers type book. I gave this book 5 stars. It's my first 5-star read of the year, so that was pretty amazing. I loved this book. There are some little things about it that you could probably say are wrong, but I loved everything else about this book. I just loved the dynamic between the two characters, and I loved their banter. I just love it when characters fight and they just go at each other. And then I just love all the cute parts in the book. And then also, Amy and Olive come from a very big family, and I loved the family dynamic in the book where it talks about Olive always talks about how since she has so many cousins and aunts and uncles, that if you text one person in the family about something that's going wrong, you get 20 more texts from other people. 6 people show up at your house, and 3 of them will have food to comfort you with. And I just loved that. So that's the Honeymooners. I loved this book. I recommend reading this book. I have all good things to say about this book, which I haven't really had all good things to say about a book in a while. So that's the Honeymooners. Moving on to the next book I read this month is Twist of Fate by Ellen J. Green. I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars just because I enjoyed the first 60% of the book. This book is a murder mystery psychological thriller type book. It follows this girl, Ava. Her adoptive mom just died, and she finds this eerie photograph of this house whose front door is still open, and within all of her like baby stuff from when she was found as a baby, because her adoptive mom told her that she was left on the doorstep of this church. So it follows Ava trying to figure out what this house means and like what her adoptive mom could have possibly been hiding from her. I very much enjoyed the first 60% of the book, like I said. It follows Ava. She's kind of an alcoholic. She has some really intense mental issues. She has problems coping with the fact that her mom died because it was her mom, but also her mom was kind of really like emotionally abusive and verbally abusive, and also physically abusive in some points. So she was kind of having a hard time wrapping her head around the fact that she was mourning for this person that died that she also really hated for most of her life. So Ava works at this courthouse, and she has her friend Joanna and then her friend Russell, who is he's a officer for the courthouse. There's a specific name for it, but I can't remember what it's called. And so then she ends up instilling Russell and Joanna's help to solve this mystery and figure out what this photograph's about. Then it also follows another guy's point of view. He's like a mystery for a while during the book, and her aunt's point of view. And then just all of a sudden in the middle of the book, this is a spoiler, but I'm not going to recommend this book to anybody who really enjoys thrillers. I think if you're getting into thrillers, then it might be a good one, because you would probably enjoy it a little bit more, because you wouldn't really expect this to be something that you wouldn't really want. I don't know. But she gets killed just like halfway in the middle of the book, so then her point of view just drops off. And then you find out that she's still alive, and then you find out that she's the one that's been killing people, and then it ends on a cliffhanger, which then means that you have to read the next book. There's 2 more books in the series, and that was kind of where my enjoyment for it dropped off, because she like actively pursues the guy Russell, who's in a relationship. He just got engaged, and then she gets killed, and then her friends continue to try to figure out what happened to her, because now she's missing, and they were helping solve this case. And then she comes back and then flees, and then she dies again, and then I don't know. It was just the end of it was just a mess. Like there's so much to wrap your head around, which is kind of why I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I think if I would have stopped reading it at the 60% mark, it would have been a 5-star read, because I was very much enjoying it. It was very compelling. It was very gripping. And then I think the author tried to throw too many twists in there at the end, and it got confusing. So yeah, 3 out of 5 stars, Twist of Fate. There's 2 more books in the series if you do read that book and want to continue with it. I don't think I'm going to continue with it. I don't know. We'll see. I got the book for free, or I think I got it for free. I don't know. It was just on my Kindle app, and I started reading it one day. So that's that. Then the next book I read this month is called The Cause to Kill by Blake Pierce. This is a free Nook book on Barnes & Noble's website, which is why I have it. It is part of like a 7-book series called the Avery Black Mysteries. The main character's name is Avery Black. I gave this book 2 out of 5 stars. I really wanted to enjoy this book. It's just, there is just something about it. You follow Avery's point of view. She is a newly appointed homicide detective, and a girl comes up dead. She's found posed in a park. And so she gets assigned to this case because she's known for being really good at her job. And everybody in her precinct hate her. They like argue with her, they call her names, they think that she's a bitch, they call her a murderer. Because I would say like in her past life, before she became a police officer, she was a lawyer. She was a very good lawyer. She was married, she has her kid, and then she represented this guy, I think his name is Howard, because she was convinced that he was innocent and she wanted to save an innocent man. But then it turns out that he's not innocent and that he really did kill the people that he killed, and then he killed someone in like her name, like for her. And so people call her a murderer because she got the murder off for free, and like the girl that proceeded to then die after he got off, the family blames her because she's the one that got him free. So it's like a whole thing. She's like psychologically traumatized by it because of stuff in her past, but then like also people are just mean to her the entire time that she's working, but then also she's just an asshole the entire time. So there's not really any way for anybody to be like, oh, but like she's actually like a really cool person, or like I'm sorry that like you fucked up, but like you're a cool person and like we can be friends. She's just an asshole, and she's super arrogant, and she's dumb, and she does things that she shouldn't do, and like you think that she would know that she shouldn't do it, and then it gets her in trouble, and she like almost gets fired, but then she doesn't get fired because then she solves the case, but she almost gets herself killed trying to solve the case. And I don't know. Moving on to the last book I read this month, which was Again But Better by Christine Ruscio. I read this for Contemporary-a-thon at the end of the month. It was the only book that I read during Contemporary-a-thon. I went in this book super open-minded. If you watch my Contemporary-a-thon vlog, I was thinking about giving it 3 stars, but ultimately I ended up giving it 2 stars. I plan on doing a more in-depth review on this book. I'm just trying to collect my thoughts, because there's just a lot of things in the book that, like, I don't know. I'm just conflicted about this book. I gave it 2 stars, but like honestly, it's not a 1-star book. I didn't hate the book, but I didn't love the book. And I definitely don't feel like if like 50-50 on it, which is usually if I feel 50-50, I give it 3 stars because that's like in the middle. Well, at least in the middle to me. 2.5 stars would be in the middle if you got technical, but I don't do points. I just do straight up. So I gave it 2 stars. This book follows a girl named Shane. She is in college and she decides to study abroad in London. And it's like a romantic rom-com coming of age story. I don't know. So I then proceed to struggle to talk about how I feel about Again But Better for 7 minutes in this video. So I'm just gonna throw this in here and tell you I'm gonna be doing a book review on this book. And I'm just gonna cut out all of my jibber jabber because I don't want to subject you guys to that. So yeah, we'll just skip to the end of the video. That's the end of this video. If you enjoyed these type of videos, I do wrap-ups at the end of every month. I will put a playlist in the description or somewhere if you want to watch more of them. I plan on being in Spookathon this month. Hopefully I get more reading done than I did in Contemporary-a-thon. So I will be doing a TBR on what I'm going to be doing in Spookathon. If you like videos like these, or you just like seeing my face, please go ahead and like this video and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can get notified every time I post a video. I post videos every Sunday and or Wednesday. And yeah, that's it. I've tried to record this video so many times my brain hurts. So